Hi everyone, my name is Genesis Levy, and today I'll be doing my discussion speech within my group here. Want everyone come and introduce themselves?
Hi, my name is Ainsley Levy.
Hi, I'm Jackie Levy.
Cheyenne Henry.
And I'm Kevin Embry.
Okay, so today we're going to be doing a brief discussion on the effective listening within family. So to start, I have a scenario for you guys. If you were in a situation with your parent or guardian and you are constantly trying to give your opinion, but your parent doesn't want to hear what you have to say because they feel it's not relevant because you're a child, how would you feel? Starting with you.
Well, I wouldn't feel good at all because as a child, I want to be heard. I want to be understood. I want to make sure that what I'm feeling on the inside is coming out. And I want to make sure that, if my mom and dad hears me, they're listening to everything that I'm saying. And I believe that was important. My mom and dad listened when I was a child, so.
Okay. So what I would do beforehand, I would just have a discussion with them and allow them to know that my feelings matter. So whatever situation comes up, I want you to take that into account, that I have feelings, and I would like for you to hear me out as well. I know that you are the parent, but I am the child. I have feelings, and I want to be heard just as much as you want me to hear you. I want you to hear me, but at the same time, I do want to continue to get sound advice from you, mom and dad.
Okay, I would just remind my parents, hey, what you do now while I'm small may affect me when I get bigger.
Yes, yes.
So just understand,
Great point.
ask them, is there a reason why you aren't listening to me?
Right.
Like, do you think that I'm not old enough to understand? I would ask questions like that. I was that kind of child.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, those answers are great. I don't have anything. No, I would always, in terms of my feelings, my mom I was her only child. My dad had my three other brothers, so she always had like our one-on-one time. But for both my parents, what we would do was we had like family time on Sundays at the table. So I would invoke, hey, this is family time. I really need you guys to hear me. This is something really important that I can't really grasp by myself, to involve them to kind of prick their ears and say, hey, if Kev can't handle it, maybe I do need to listen.
Right.
So I would invoke the whole family time.
Great point.
Right, those are all amazing, great answers. And if you guys could define effective listening in one way, what would you say? Just
Well,
kind of keep it.
For me, effective listening is listening with empathy.
Right.
Meaning that as I'm listening, I'm trying to relate to the person, not trying to sympathize with them, but listening with empathy, maybe walking along with them and really trying to understand what it is that you're communicating and trying to be with them along the hurt or whatever it is they're communicating, giving them my full undivided attention, not wandering and not looking all around and not thinking what I need to do next or what my day is going to be like, but giving that person my attention at that particular time because what they have to say is important.
And I would just say, my feelings matter.
Right.
That's it. If my feelings matter, and I'll make it clear, make it plain.
I think when I think of effective listening, I think if I had to get a prize for everything that I remembered that this person said to me, like I think I would grasp it more. So when I'm having a conversation with someone, it's like act like you're gonna get a prize. And just talk to me, and try to understand what I'm saying in such a way where you can repeat what I say.
Right.
I would just say that I think a famous minister said, your heart is your feelings and your mind and your soul. So when you actually can hear somebody, you got to ask them what's really on their heart, and make sure you can really listen and kind of ask them what is their chief aim from the conversation. And if you can make sure you hear that and I guess play it back to them, and get a cohesive understanding. To me, that's effective.
Okay. Well, to give you guys kind of the specific definition of
Okay.
what effective
Yes.
listening is, their skills and abilities that are actively understanding information by providing by the speaker. So more of like a in speech term, kind of more of a professional realm. So what I'm going to do right now is give you guys just a little bit of an educational tidbit on the topic of effective communication within your family that I've researched and done so far within my class. And I've known as it to be listening is being a primary thought, which can be learning new information and help us meet instrumental needs as we learn within new things and learning things about each other. So with that being said, Dad, would you like to share the second scenario for the project?
Yes, the second scenario is you have a relationship. You have a husband and a wife, and the wife wants to give her opinion, but the husband is constantly over talking and not paying any attention to the wife. You know, what do you do in that situation? What do you do in that scenario?
So the question that after describing, thank you for giving that scenario.
You're welcome.
So what is your opinion on that? How would you act on that part if you were in the shoes of the scenario?
In the scenario within reverse, or if I'm the man and the woman is not listening?
Just you
It
being the
doesn't
woman
matter.
and
You
however
can,
it
whatever
will work
scenario
with
you want to use it.
Mm-hmm.
Come up with a solution.
Okay, so my solution would be to make sure that I have a conversation. Again, I always go back to prior to whatever took place. I always go back to the fact that it's going to be very important that what I'm going to say, I'm going to really need you to listen to me and listen with your heart. Because oftentimes if you listen with your heart, you don't miss the mark.
Right.
So I'm one that says just listen with your heart and make sure that you understand that, again, I have feelings. So your response is going to affect the way I feel.
Right.
So my feelings mean a lot, so do yours, so let's be considerate.
Okay.
I definitely agree. I think when it comes to communication with a husband and wife, I think, especially being a wife, if I was in that scenario where the husband would over talk, I would always stop and ask.
Sorry, my dog.
Oliver wants to.
Okay.
You have something to say, Ollie? All right.
It's all right. So I would just say that I would ask him, what if I spoke over you? How would you feel if I spoke over you and
Yes.
you weren't able to get your words out?
Yes.
How would you feel about just asking him to put himself in my shoes and see how it feels?
Right, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Very good.
My turn?
Uh-huh.
I think for me, I don't like to be over talk or being the youngest of four boys. I definitely needed my message heard or my feelings expressed. So in reference to the solution, I would, if my wife was over talking me or somebody I was in conversation with, I would just like stop talking and say, do you want me to share my feelings? If not, then maybe I can go share with somebody else. But usually when you exclude a person, they like, well, I don't want to get excluded unless they don't care about you at all. So I would try that method, or or maybe ask them, hey, did I do something wrong to you? Let me apologize. Because usually people hurt people.
Right.
So until you maybe apologize for that past discretion, then people can get past to what you want to do. So that's what I'm saying.
Okay. Well, that's awesome. I have one more question for you guys. Overall, just as effective communication within families, how do you feel that it can help a family that may be broken? Like, what do you think the steps they can take, towards working towards learning to hear each other out and not just, shut out something if you don't agree with it 100%?
I think that as it relates to family, I think that some time need to be set aside. And I believe normally the kitchen is where the family eat, that's where they gather. So a good point would be at the kitchen table. And the other thing is once you sit down, give everyone, it doesn't matter their age, it doesn't matter, what their opinion is, everybody's opinion matters. So give everyone the opportunity to speak and to speak clearly, and don't limit them with time. Don't limit them with ideas and thoughts. Let them speak their own mind and speak freely, and not in a judgmental way, but in a loving, kind, caring way. And that would be a good start.
Okay, so for myself, one thing I do know is that prayer changes things. So what I would do is that make sure that we all come together and that we pray first. So that is allowing everyone to submit. To if that's what you do in your prayer life at home. So when you pray and you lay it out on the table and you put it before the Lord, it is a little bit easier. Everyone sort of take their gloves off at that point, so then everybody knows like, well, we put this before the Lord. So we're going to take it one step at a time, and we're going to honor him with our responses so that we're not hurting one another.
Okay, so I'm gonna build a burger. So we have our bun, we have our we have all of this thing, everything that they say. I would include all of that, and sometimes it may help to get an outside source that's neutral, someone that's not in your family.
Good point.
Even going to a further step to maybe have a minister. Sometimes mediate. Sometimes when children aren't being heard, or husbands aren't, or wives not being heard, sometimes it's just good to have like you said, establish a time to set that specific time. Everything, phones are off, actually away, there's no distractions. Everybody have respect for one another, open with prayer, make sure that it's like a guideline in terms of rules set, so that there's no disrespect. Even when you feel hurt, there's a way to express it outside of anger. And I think having a person give everyone an opportunity to speak, or maybe like a time, not so much a time limit, because people have different times and how they're feeling, so you don't want to restrict it that way, but just give them a time to speak, where maybe they're passing around a baton, or it could be a Bible or something that they're passing around. Whoever has it at that time are the only ones who speak at that time. Something like
That's
that.
great.
That's definitely a great concept.
Yeah, not to be joking, like what she said was awesome, man. Miss Jackie and her husband said that. So we're building a home here. Only thing to add is I would go add all of that. God, whether no matter what you believe in, to add that the ultimate presence into the equation. Always, I think it adds the gift of sincerity, and then the outside source makes it authentic, because me and you are arguing. If you add in Andre, he don't really know me, he don't really know you, or it's neutral. So now it should be an equal playing field. Nobody wants to feel like they're being double teamed. And outside that, I think forgiveness is a good thing.
Yes,
usually,
excellent.
Usually if there's an issue, there's somebody ill thought, bad words, or you didn't give me back my book bag when you said you were gonna do it, or whatever. So what they say, you can say sorry, and recompense means you do something more than sorry. Maybe so maybe if I keep your bag for a long time, maybe I need to give you another bag, and that kind of takes the wound away, because I'm giving you your bag back plus a new bag. So kind of bringing something to the table.
Okay. Well, to bring this discussion to a close, I have just two more kind of broad questions for you guys. How are you guys to continue to reflect on the theoretical concept of this discussion?
Well, for me, I'm glad that we had this discussion, because I'm taking away from everyone's own personal views, and building a burger and getting outside. If you have a book bag, maybe put a book or some pencils in it when you give it back. So I'm drawing from each individual here, and that's gonna help me more in my communication and my understanding how to communicate. So thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Okay, and just, I'll sum it up with just a few words, just grateful.
Okay.
Just feeling grateful. And with everything that was said here, it was very impactful. So it's great. Now we can all walk away with something new on our hearts that we can build and we can grow, and perhaps just continue to go and feel good about ourselves and what we've said and what we've heard.
And I appreciate in your process of learning through your class, you've taught us something. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
You've done a great job,
Yes,
Jen.
definitely.
Yes, that was the next question. Did you learn anything today?
Yes.
Yeah.
So what was the question? Yeah.
Okay, so just to close it out, is there any ways you guys feel that you guys can improve after this discussion as far as your communication skills? Just kind of like sum it up in like a
Yes.
it's like a one word thing, like
One word? Okay.
Just being more expressive, but then also listening more and listening with understanding.
Right, effectively.
I would say that effective listening also for myself and listening and caring more about what they're feeling when they're sharing.
Right, okay.
I would say it's awesome to be interested instead of being interesting.
Right.
Yes.
Like when you really have an interest in what someone is saying, you kind of know those things that you want to express.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yes.
just listening well.
Okay.
Listen well, ask questions.
Okay. Alright. Well, thank you guys for coming to my discussion. Again, my name is Genesis Levy. This is my effective communication discussion for my online speech class 302.